Hi all, in this video, let's learn some of the React.js interesting points. So what happened to the React 1.0 version? So let's start with this. So if you see the React versions, so it may be starting somewhere around React 0.0.10 and it was went back to 1.12, 0.13, 0.14. After 0.14, okay, if you wonder like we don't have 1.0, we have directly 15.0. From 0.14 to directly it was jumped to 15. So there is no React 1.0.0. The reason behind this, so there are a couple of reasons why they made this choice. So firstly, by this time like React was implemented and adopted in most of the projects which were there in the production environment as well. Okay, and by this time the React was more stable. If they introduce React 1.0, okay, most of the developers will feel that that is like a newborn baby, which is not stabilized, and don't touch that. Okay, so that's the reason to build more confidence in the developers, stating that this is already stable. Okay, and most of the applications were also being there in the production environment, and also to make sure that this is already in the production, and also to make that projects which are there in the production also to be more confident to continue their development, they have moved that to directly to 15.0.0. So this is the reason we don't see React 0.0. And now it is more stable. That's the reason like there are also following this semantic versioning. Along with this reason, they wanted also to align with other libraries like React Router. So React Router versioning also they wanted to align. So that's the reason they have jumped from 0.14 to 15.0.0. This is a major reason behind what happened to this versioning problem with the React. This was wantedly they wanted to make sure like from this version they want to follow the right versioning pattern. So this is a reason for this React version thing. And let's move back to the second thing. So we can use key property to remount the components. What does it mean? So let's go back and I will show an example. So here there is a component timer in which there is a key called key. So we can use whenever you change a component key. So this is a component, timer component. If you change the value of this key, okay, what happens? React will remount this component. It will remount this component. It means it removes the old instance and mounts the new instance. Okay, that is what it does. If a key changes, it means what happens is we are telling to the React to treat this as a new instance. That's the reason it will unmount this component and again it will remount. So in this case, what we are doing, like whenever we click this button, it updates the key. So once the key is updated, what React does, it will again remove this instance and again remounts the new instance. So I'm clicking this. So what happens again? This timer starts from the 0 seconds. Okay, this is what like you are using this key to remount the component. So don't use this. This is not a recommended way. It is not there in the official React documentation as well. So don't use this. If you overuse this key, what happens is this remounting process. Okay, when you change this key, this remounting happens, right? So this is more expensive operation than updating the component. Okay, so but you can learn this or understand this in interviews. Sometimes they may ask us how we can forcefully forcefully remount a component. Okay, and this is a way you can forcefully remount a component. Okay, just in the interview purpose, like it can help, but don't overuse this. This is a second interesting point where you can use the key property to remount the React components. Okay, so coming to the third point in from React 18 versions, so we can return back undefined as well. So what does it mean? So let me go back and show it. So in React 17, so this application is a React 17 application. So here in the React 17 application, if you try to return something with the undefined, okay, I'm wantedly returning undefined. If you return an undefined in the React 17 and below versions, you'll be getting a runtime error like this. Nothing was returned from the render. This usually means a return statement is missing or to render nothing or return null. Okay, it will not accept this as an valid scenario. Okay, for this, what usually we do, from React 18 system is we'll check whether it is an undefined. So if it is undefined, we would have written it as a null or a empty string something. So this is a valid. So this is what we were doing in React 17 and below versions. Okay. Then now we are good. Okay. Now instead of this, we no need to do an additional check whether it is an undefined or not, and then making returning back null like that. Okay. Like React 18, now it supports uh, returning an undefined. So this is an another application which is built on top of React 18. So here also the same application, we are returning undefined. So now it is not throwing any of the error. Okay. So now let's understand why they have introduced this in React 18. So now they are accepting uh, a render with the undefined. Okay. Why not they have done this in earlier versions? So let's learn that. Why they have not done this in the earlier versions means the reason, like one, why while they are building this rendering of a component, okay, in 2017s, this was happened in the 2017s, and there the type system, like whatever the types we have, the type system and the linting system, this ecosystem was not that much popular. Okay. And that's the reason they made, if someone returns an undefined, so they were throwing that at the runtime. Okay. Now these days, like a type system and a linting ecosystem was very popular. We have a lot of things we can do with these types and the lintings. They can caught many errors at the run at the compile time itself. So that's the reason React team were revisited this feature, and they made it now accepting that returning back an undefined is also a valid scenario. This is one thing. And the second thing is, like you may have heard about in React, we'll be having suspense and lazy. So with these two, like we'll be loading a component, right? We'll be loading a component like lazy loading component. Okay. In the suspense, we'll be having a fallback where you will be loading a component. Okay. And that component, they made that to return anything, like it can return in a null and undefined. Okay. So when they did this for the new feature of suspense and lazy, they thought, they revisited like, okay, why can't they do the same for the render as well? So they were doing this for the fallback. Why can't we do the same for the render? When we render any component, why can't we return an undefined? So that's the reason, like to maintain the consistency between this suspense and the lazy, they implemented this. They accepted that, okay, returning an undefined is also a fine scenario now. So that's the reason from React 18, we can happily return back an undefined. So these are the major three interesting points we learned today. So hope this video helps you. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you.